The very essence of the NATO alliance is to safeguard the freedom and security of all of its members, all for one and one for all. Yesterday, President Trump reaffirmed the United States' unwavering support for NATO and Article 5 when he said, "The United States has demonstrated, not merely with words, but with its actions, that we stand firmly behind Article 5, the mutual defense commitment." Bulgaria will host Sabre Guardian, the largest multinational military exercise in Europe this year. All of these efforts are focused on enhancing our forces' interoperability and capabilities. They demonstrate our resolve to deter current and emerging security threats and to defend our nations from these threats. Of course, the training, collaboration, and sharing of expertise must be coupled with continued efforts to modernize our military equipment and systems. At the NATO summit, President Trump noted the need to focus on terrorism, immigration, external threats, and on NATO's eastern and southern flanks. These objectives are very much in line with Bulgaria's own security priorities. President Trump also called for NATO members to contribute their fair share for modernization and readiness of their armed forces. In that regard, we warmly welcome Prime Minister Borisov's leadership in identifying and committing the needed funds to increase Bulgaria's defense spending to 2% of GDP. Bulgaria's plans to strengthen and modernize its defense capabilities are critical to our work together in meeting the pressing challenges facing our alliance, including terrorism and migration. The United States recognizes that spending more on defense and spending more on modernizing military hardware require tough political decisions and financial trade-offs. Bulgaria is making those difficult decisions, and the investment it plans to make will make Bulgaria and our alliance stronger and safer. We stand with Bulgaria as it wrestles with finding the best solutions to move its armed forces forward, to ensure they have equipment that is compatible and interoperable with its NATO allies, and to find ways to help modernize Bulgaria's defense industries while also modernizing its armed forces. We applaud the clear national consensus in favor of proceeding with modernization now. Much has been said and written recently about one aspect of Bulgaria's military modernization effort, the acquisition of fighter aircraft to replace Bulgaria's MiG-29s. Ultimately, it will be Bulgaria's sovereign decision on how it will proceed with this and other military modernization projects. There are critical questions that must be considered in making this decision. Cost is obviously very important. But in looking at costs, it is important to look at the total ultimate cost, not just the amount that must be paid up front. Also important are the proven capabilities of the aircraft being considered, its real-time combat experience, the numbers of sorties flown, and its interoperability and compatibility with the aircraft flown by the United States and other NATO allies, including neighboring allies in the region. As Bulgaria's ally and partner, the United States stands ready to help support Bulgarian efforts to strengthen its armed forces and to enhance its security. Bulgaria is also moving quickly to tap its own domestic sources of natural gas. The United States welcomes this progress toward gas supply and route diversification. We firmly hope that the IGB will be ready to start receiving and distributing gas from the TAP and TANAP pipelines as soon as they are completed. And again, we stand ready to assist in any way we can help to advance the goals of energy diversification and energy independence. Bulgaria is very lucky basically to have good relations with all of its neighbors. That's something that I hope NATO membership can help support. Since one of the questioners asked about the Western Balkans, there's no question that the Western Balkans need more attention. There's no question that we and other members of NATO are worried about what is called Balkan fatigue, in the sense that we are past now the 20-year mark of the commitment by NATO, by the European Union, by the United Nations, by others to support peace and development in the Western Balkans in the wake of the bloody breakup of Yugoslavia, in the wake of the armed conflict and human tragedy that happened there. There's much to celebrate. There's been enormous progress, but I think it's safe to say that there's more to be done and there's still dangers ahead. Bulgaria, I think, can, as part of its EU presidency, play an important role as a bridge between its Balkan neighbors and NATO, between its Balkan neighbors and the European Union. We warmly welcome, and I personally warmly welcome, Prime Minister Borisov's statements about support for Macedonia and Macedonia's aspirations and application for membership in both NATO and the European Union. That is something we have supported from the very beginning of our diplomatic relations with Macedonia. We were very pleased to join with all of our allies in welcoming Montenegro as a member of the alliance this year. That is a clear signal that, to use the cliche, but it's an important one, the door is open. On the question of multi-role fighter aircraft, I think I said about as much as I want to in my remarks, but I do want to say, as I said in my remarks, to repeat, it is very important in making these very important series of decisions, which are Bulgaria's to make, not for anyone else outside to dictate or to tell Bulgarians what decision to make. But the long-term costs and benefits are an important calculation that I think needs to be part of this debate. It's not just buying aircraft, it's buying all of the support and training and interoperability and maintenance and ground facilities that come or do not come with particular aircraft. So I think that is largely understood. I think there's a very strong debate going on. I think it would not be helpful for us to get more involved in that debate, except to say we support modernization. We believe that Bulgaria needs to upgrade its military equipment. It needs to be interoperable and compatible with other NATO allies, and we want to do everything we can to help in that effort.